Hey gang, Bill Sheridan here with the Maryland Association of CPAs. This is the purpose of the CPA. This is our weekly hunt for the why behind what CPAs do. We spend way too much time talking about what CPAs do, not enough time talking about why they do it. So that's why we're here, right? Looking to do our part to change the narrative a little bit about this profession. CPA. This is our weekly hunt for the why behind what CPAs do. We spend way too much time talking about what CPAs do, not enough time talking about why they do it. So that's why we're here, right? Looking to do our part to change the narrative a little bit about this profession. And this week, I'm talking with Philip Wimbish. Phil is he's Annapolis born and raised. Is still there. He's a partner with Mullen, Sonberg, Wimbish, and Stone. His CPA purpose, it really boils down to the satisfaction he gets from helping clients through their challenges. But as a firm leader, he's also stoked by being able to help his team members grow in their careers, achieve their goals. It's been said that the number one job of a leader is to create new leaders, and Phil really is seeing that through. And for Phil, kind of cool here. Accounting runs in the family for him, right? His firm was started by his grandfather more than 50 years ago. Other members of the family are partners there with him today. So, pretty cool stuff. I'm going to let him take it from there. Here is Philip Wimbish with
Well, I've
his
got a
CPA story.
kind of a family tie-in. I think that was a big part of it. My firm here, my grandfather started 50 plus years ago, and my mom and my uncles were partners here. And so I kind of had that as an option. I kind of grew up in a household with a mother that was a partner in a CPA firm. So it was something that was familiar to me. And, I saw it was, a good opportunity and, had done well for the family and kind of like I said, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I kind of liked the business school and then getting into it. I didn't like marketing, finance, whatever. Numbers just kind of seemed to make sense to me. I liked kind of the logic behind it or whatever. Debits and credits balance out, and then I just kind of went with it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, now that you've been doing it for a while, I mean, what do you see as like the purpose or the why behind your work? I mean, we know a little bit about what you do, but why do you do it? What do you accomplish by being a CPA?
It's a good question. I think there's the satisfaction I think I get out of it and the challenge that, not only for me, there's like the technical challenges of dealing with client projects and things. And, you get some rewards by, helping clients through things. Sometimes the stuff that we think so simple, they get a big kick out of, or like, so you kind of can get a reward both ways where I do something that's challenging for me and the client doesn't even realize it, but you can get it that way. In my role here, I think my most rewarding part is probably working with my employees and, being able to help them along, see them grow, just had like a situation with one employee that, going through a cancer thing and just being able to be there for them,
Mhm.
was kind of touching to me,
How
to be able to support them.
how big is your team there?
Got about 30 people right now. So
Okay. Lots of it doesn't sound like a lot, but there's a lot of personalities among those 30 people and a lot of different challenges in terms of leading them and bringing them along too. So,
yeah, and that's like not my first inclination or something that I think I'm good at, but I think the longer you do this, you realize that's like, you know, the glue that holds it all together is making sure we all get along. And like I said, I've been in meeting hell because it's been evaluation week and
yeah.
going through that. So there's, you know, some conflict there, some drama, some rewards. So it's like, that might be more challenging for me than just sitting down with, a spreadsheet and cranking through numbers. It was like talking to my partner. I'm like, I'm way more tired by Thursday of this week than I would be if I had cranked 60 hours on just cranking out work. I'm
That's
ready
right.
to get back to that. But, there's definitely rewards there too. So,
Yep.
think
Yeah,
kind of all of that, and different. That's what's I think good about it is that it's something different. You know, there are these different things between the technical to the personal and everything in between that keeps you on your toes. It's like, one year the problem is staffing, the next year it's TCJA or Maryland comptroller won't do this, or you got some big new client. So it's not stagnant like that, I
that's
think.
right. Always something different. Well, I've been asking this question to a few people now, but I'm just kind of curious. What do you love most about being a CPA? I don't know if you've ever had those days where you sit back and think, man, I really dig my job. I don't what is it about this work that is gratifying for you?
Um, it's a tough one. Like I said, I kind of feel like every day it's something different, but um to me, it's probably at the end of the day, just like the fact that it does challenge me. That, like I said, you kind of have these different challenges that sometimes I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, and you kind of work through it, and you get the reward on the other side of seeing a project through, or working with a client, or dealing with a staff issue, or I think one of the other things of just like being involved with like the clients and like business, like you kind of see the nuts and bolts of a business, and like when you can be that like go-to advisor sometimes, it's not every day is that rewarding, but sometimes it's like, you've got something where somebody has some situation that you can be there to work through with them, and
Yep.
so.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that is, and I go through that too, but that is some of the most rewarding parts of any job is certainly the work that you do when you're faced with an issue or a problem that at first seems particularly difficult, but working your way through it and finding that answer always is just like it's a rush, right? There's something about it. It's like, man, I did that, and it's not every job I think where you can look get to the end of the day and point at something and say, yep, that was something that I did.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I hate the deadline and crunch of this work, like it works for me. Like I have a time frame that like I kind of know I gotta. The seasonality might scare people, but especially if you can stick to the traditional busy season,
Yeah,
it's not a bad time to be really busy at work.
that's
The
right.
fall busy season, to be honest, is a bit of a challenge more, but or when you busy season extends throughout the whole year. But I kind of learned that I can say no to people, like,
Yeah, that's right.
and I'm not always good about that, but that's what I think as a profession we need to learn and find,
That's
what work we can do. I was just on the phone with a client that our client has, we do 50 return form or whatever, and then something happened and they're buying somebody out and they're like, oh yeah, they're going to do this tax return this year. We're like, okay. And then we're like, okay, there's 100 partners in this return and this and that. And like, let's get on the phone, and the old accountants can do this return this year. Like we can do it next year, but
yeah.
because they just said they know we'll take care of them.
That's a milestone, I think, in everybody's life, right? When you get to that point where you realize, hey, I can say no to this, and it's okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. What what would you tell young people about this profession? Somebody who's kind of struggling to figure out, where do I fit in or what do I want to do? How would you kind of turn them on to accounting?
I think especially if you don't know what you're gonna do, it's a good, opportunity to try something out and get into the world of business. I feel like because whether you go into auditing or in tax or whatever, you're kind of the backbone of business. or you'll learn some of that, and you might find that you don't like accounting at the end of the day, but there's ways to kind of pivot into industry or different things. Like I know people that have accounting backgrounds that do all kinds of different things. I have a client that has an accounting degree that manufactures soil, in a small business, or like, we've had people that worked here, like they realized like, okay, I don't necessarily think I'm going to be an accountant forever, but I'm going to go into construction and I can start my own business and do that. So I think, or, pivot into whatever role you want, but like there's a ton of opportunity to stay in accounting, but if it's not a life sentence either, it's a good way to get your feet in the door of business and learn things, and you can learn a lot.
Great stuff there from Phil Wimbish. So glad he could take time out of his busy schedule to be here with us today. We want to hear from you too. So please head on over to macpa.org/why and share your story with us as we try to offer a little bit of inspiration to the next generation of accounting and finance professionals. We want to hear what your CPA purpose is too. Thanks for being here. As always, great to be with you once again. And we'll be back again next week. More stories to share then. Until then, have a great week. Talk to you soon. Take care.